Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore. Cleaning with a passion and purpose. There are a lot of situations, unfortunately, where some deep cleaning is not enough. You have biohazard situations, maybe some hoarding situations, crime scenes. Who does the cleanup for that? And why do they do it? Well, I want to invite two friends on the show to talk about the company that they own and why they do what they do. This is Michelle and Armand from Bio-One of Oceanside. How are you guys doing today?
Great, thanks.
We're great, thank you.
Good. So Bio-One, let's talk generally about what Bio-One is and what you guys do.
Okay, Bio-One is a crime and trauma scene cleaning company, and we take care of all different types of biohazard scenes. In the home, outside the home, anywhere our services are needed.
Got it. So when you see the things on TV, with the crime scene and so forth, someone has to do the cleanup afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you guys step in, and you're called in by maybe the police or maybe, and we'll talk about this in just a moment, but family members to clean up whatever needs to be done. How did you guys get into this? Because your background, both of you, are as educators.
So, I think I'm the one to blame for this because, when we originally started out with doing some food businesses, my daughter actually one time did a fundraiser to kind of raise some money to go to Washington, D.C., New York as an 8th grader. And it did so well that we thought, oh, maybe we could start a business. And I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, even though I've been in the classroom now for 26 years. And when that didn't quite work out, we started looking at other things, and we were looking for something that had some structure, because we learned that we needed that. We needed something that had decent margins, but then also that kind of matched who we were in terms of helping people. And when we found Bio-One as a franchise, their motto is help first, business second. And so when I saw that, I did a visit out to Colorado, checked it out. I just we can do this. And I'd always been sort of a detailed kind of a guy, being a teacher, cleaning up lab spaces because of my students not always being, super clean. Just making sure that we're always ready next period for the next lab, because I taught chemistry and physics. And just the idea of solving the problems in whatever scene we're dealing with and helping the customer through that solution to make their home safe again was something that was really interesting to me.
That's great. I'm kind of curious, as a side note, sometimes it takes a leap of faith to be able to go into a business where you're working together as a couple. Was that on the table at all? Was that a concern at all?
I don't think so.
Not for me.
I don't think we even ever thought about it that way.
Yeah, we didn't discuss that at all. It was just
good.
We just enjoy.
We're in this together no matter what.
No matter
so
what.
We got 4 kids. We've moved a couple times now because of issues with the health of our children, and just even Michelle going through cancer treatments in the past. We everything we do is together.
It's together.
That's great.
And even like the last week we're talking about, because we celebrated our 22nd anniversary last year, and we're seeing couples celebrating 50th anniversaries. Okay, we got to make it to 50.
We're almost there.
Yeah. I was actually just
We're getting close.
I was just with a couple that just last week celebrated their 62nd anniversary.
Oh wow!
So
Nice.
something to aspire to. Well,
Yeah.
It's great that you guys can do this together, because this can be a labor-intensive job that you guys have. It's also an emotional job, I would think, too. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive. What are some of the examples of some of the services you provide, the scenes that you take care of?
We're called out by law enforcement at any time of the day or night, and to remediate a crime or trauma scene, an accident, whatever the situation might be. So.
And I'm guessing it has to be pretty quick. They can't just let the crime scene be that way. Once they call you in, it's probably, what's the time frame that they need to have it done by?
We pride ourselves on our quick response time within half hour to an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If we can get there.
Just depending on the distances. So Carlsbad, maybe 45 minutes, depending on the location in Carlsbad. Right. Same with Vista. But Oceanside, we pride ourselves getting there within the half an hour.
Okay.
As soon as they call, I'm waking up. Okay, I'm ready to go. And then I just go out to the scene. And if I think we need more technicians, then from the scene, I'll call additional technicians to clean the scene.
So you won't know until you get there to see what's needed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's correct.
And how long does it take? I guess it varies on what the scene looks like, but is there an average amount of time it takes?
A lot of times it's between 2 to 4 hours.
Okay.
The 4 hours, of course, would be something really extreme. I think there was something that happened.
Usually in a home, it'll take a little longer.
Homes are definitely longer,
Yeah,
but
most
definitely if it's outdoors, it's a little faster to clean.
Because at home you might have carpet or
Correct.
that kind of thing.
Flooring
It has to be an
pull up.
habitable situation.
Correct.
Okay. And when you go out there, are you sometimes surprised at what you see? Is there anything that surprises you at this point anymore, or are you kind of this is just what you do?
At this point, nothing really surprises us.
Yeah.
Although, I had a conversation with an owner out in Charleston, South Carolina, and recently he did a scene where it was an undiscovered death. Someone had passed away a long time ago, or like a couple weeks before, and of course, there's bodily fluids everywhere. And he tests a lot of times for fentanyl and things like that. And he decided to check the fluid for fentanyl. And so this is a new concern, at least we're thinking about for the safety of our team, that in that bodily fluid was detected fentanyl in the situation. Mm-hmm. And so he was warning me about that potential situation and how we need to make sure we're taking care of our team. And even having conversations with the ME and the coroners about how to properly take care of them in the event that maybe the body itself has fentanyl or something.
Interesting.
Because it's obviously more prolific now in our country.
Sure, no, for sure. And so you cover the entire North County of San Diego, or what parts of the county do you cover?
We cover mostly North County, but we can go anywhere in San Diego County. We've done work at the border.
Okay.
We go up into Orange County as well. It's really wherever the need is, wherever the work is.
Right.
Wherever they need us. So.
Got it. So one of the areas of focus that you have is with hoarding, people with hoarding disorder. And I wouldn't say a lot of the work, but some of the work I do is with seniors who may be in hoarding situations, helping them with the sale of their home. But it's not just the sale of the home. Usually there's a whole variety of things, especially with hoarding, depending on what it is that you find in the home. How does that come into play with your business? Are you called in by the person who lives in the home? Are you called in by family? Is it just depend on the situation?
Yeah, a lot of times it depends on the situation. And just, like recently we did a job in Vista where unfortunately the owner of the home passed away in the home. And it was a hoarded situation. Mm-hmm. A lot of clutter, but definitely some hoarding. There was definitely some rodent droppings everywhere because certain things weren't taken care of, and even some mold. And the family members were the ones who contacted us.
They were up in LA.
Yeah, they lived up in LA, so they
so.
called us the next day, like, we're coming over, can you guys meet us there? And of course we cleared our schedule just to make sure we could be there for that family, to clear it up so they can look for the documents that they're looking for, especially, in that transition of like giving, because the brother was telling me that it's all going to be going to their kids, which is his niece and nephew, and so we wanted to make sure we could find and help those, find those documents and make it safer for them to be in there too.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's a good segue into dealing with the people. You're dealing with a situation, obviously the nuts and bolts of the business, but you're dealing with people who have experienced tragedy or people who are frustrated with the living situation that their family members in. So how do you deal with the family and the others who bring you in?
So usually it just starts with the first initial phone call to either myself or Armin, and we just listen.
Yeah.
Really, it comes down to that, just listening to what their needs are, what their situation is, what they hope to accomplish with whatever the job is, like hoarding, for example. And then we just go from there and kind of figure out a plan, talk with them. We don't come in and judge.
Right.
Because that doesn't help.
And then, of course, we have some great technicians on our team, and they really also lead with their heart as well, just like we do. And it's really important for us to have a team that leads with their heart. So, they come in with a lot of compassion and care when dealing with the family members, just as an extension of us, when they're working with them. So we've been really happy and really blessed to have both, Paulino and Jesus as part of our team, and just enjoyed, the work that they do to really make the families comfortable, listen really well as well, and just help out in areas that they need the help in.
Right. Well, and in the crime scene situations, you're called in by the police. It's more nuts and bolts, black and white. But you're dealing with a hoarding situation or things like that, where you have the family involved, you have to be very sensitive to the situation while taking care of it. And it's a situation where people shouldn't do it on their own. So your contact information is on the screen. Have a phone number there and have your web address as well. So if you're dealing with this type of situation and you don't think you can do it on your own, or maybe you shouldn't even try to do it on your own, call Bio-One. Michelle and Armand are there to help. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.